Have you ever considered what would happen if you had to leave everything behind and survive with only the contents of a bag? This is where the concept of a bug-out bag comes into play. A bug-out bag is not a mobile home. It's not meant to carry your entire life. Rather, it's a 72-hour mobility kit designed to keep you alive as you navigate from point A to point B. But here's where most people get it wrong. They pack for fantasy, not survival. They cram their bags with every conceivable gadget, making it overweight and impractical. Remember, the purpose of a bug-out bag is survival, not comfort. It's about the essentials: water, fire, shelter, food, defense, medical, and communication. It's about matching your gear to your actual plan and distance, not your fantasy loadout. Remember, your bug-out bag isn't a mobile home, it's a 72-hour mobility kit. So, what are the absolute essentials that should be in every bug-out bag? Let's break it down. Firstly, water. We're not talking about lugging around a gallon jug. Think portable and purifiable. A compact water filter and purification tablets will do the trick. Next, fire. A reliable fire starter, flint and steel, a lighter waterproof matches, gives you warmth, a way to cook food, and a signal for help. Toss in a small compact stove for those times when an open fire isn't feasible. Then shelter. You need a lightweight weather-resistant tarp or bivy bag, some paracord, and the knowledge to set it up quickly. Remember, your shelter's purpose isn't luxury, it's survival. Food. High calorie, lightweight, and non-perishable is the key. Think energy bars, dehydrated meals, and trail mix. Defense. This is highly personal, but a reliable, compact, and easy-to-use option is vital. A good quality knife can also serve multiple purposes, making it a top choice. Medical. A well-stocked first aid kit is non-negotiable. It should include bandages, antiseptic wipes, tweezers, medical tape, painkillers, and any essential prescription medication. Lastly, communications. A small hand-cranked or solar-powered radio can keep you connected to the outside world. And don't forget a whistle for attracting attention. But here's the real secret. Think lightweight and multi-use. Your water filter, it should also be a bottle. Your fire starter, make sure it has a built-in emergency whistle. Your shelter, it could double as a ground sheet or rain cover. You get the idea. Every item in your bag should serve more than one purpose, saving you space and weight. And remember, if it's not essential, it's just dead weight. That's the bottom line. Every item in your bag should be essential and as lightweight as possible. This isn't about packing for a camping trip. It's about survival. It's about having what you need to stay alive in the most challenging situations. So choose wisely, pack smart, and remember, your life could depend on it. Now, what about those items that look cool but don't actually serve a practical survival purpose? Let's talk about the overrated gear that adds weight but little value to your bug-out bag. First up, the big cook kits. Yes, the idea of a hot meal is comforting, but in a survival situation, speed and mobility are key. A large cook set will weigh you down and slow your progress. What you need is a lightweight, compact stove and a single pot or pan for boiling water or cooking simple meals. Next, the full tool sets. While it's great to be prepared for every situation, lugging around a complete set of tools isn't practical or necessary. You're not setting up a homestead. You're trying to stay alive and mobile. A multi-tool with essential functions like a knife, saw, can opener, and screwdriver is more than enough. Moving on to novelty gadgets. These are typically marketed as survival tools, but often they're more gimmick than useful. Things like solar-powered phone chargers or hand-cranked radios may seem handy, but they're often not efficient or reliable enough for a survival scenario. Stick to proven tools and equipment that have been field-tested and approved by experienced preppers. Last but not least, the one-size-fits-all survival kits. These kits often include a hodgepodge of items, many of which you don't need or won't use. They're also typically made with cheaper materials to keep the cost down. It's better to build your own kit tailored to your specific needs and environment with high-quality items that you know how to use. So, how do you decide what makes the cut? Start by considering the actual survival scenario you're preparing for. What are the essential tasks you'll need to perform? How can you accomplish those tasks with the least amount of gear? Remember, every item in your bag should serve a practical purpose and be worth its weight. In a survival scenario, every ounce counts. Make sure each item in your bag is there for a good reason. So, what tools are actually worth their weight in a bug-out bag? Let's dive into it. First up, we have multi-tools. These are the Swiss Army knives of the modern age, packing a whole toolbox into the palm of your hand. They're compact, lightweight, and incredibly versatile, making them an indispensable addition to any bug-out bag. Next on our list are compact hatchets. These little workhorses can do anything from chopping wood to opening cans. They're a great balance of utility and portability, offering a lot of bang for your buck, or rather, a lot of chop for your weight. Moving on, we have ferro rods. These fire-starting tools are essentially a modern take on flint and steel, and they're an absolute must for any prepper. They're durable, waterproof, and can create sparks hot enough to ignite a wide range of tinder, even in wet conditions. And then, there's duct tape. This staple of any handyman's toolbox is just as useful in a survival situation. Use it to fix broken gear, create a makeshift shelter, or even as an emergency bandage. It's not the lightest item on this list, but its sheer versatility makes it worth carrying. And finally, consider space-saving versions of essential gear. There are compact versions of almost everything these days, from cooking kits to first aid supplies. They may not offer all the functionality of their full-sized counterparts, but they'll save you a lot of weight and space in your bag. Quality over quantity. Choose tools that are versatile, durable, and lightweight. How about clothing? What should you pack and what should you leave behind? This is a question that trips up many, but the answer is simpler than you think. When it comes to clothing, layer smart, pack light. Your bug-out bag should ideally contain one change of clothes, not a mini wardrobe. Let's talk about layering. For the most part, you should aim for 3 layers. A base layer for moisture management, a middle layer for warmth, and an outer layer for protection against wind and rain. This system allows you to adjust to varying weather conditions, and it's much more flexible and efficient than packing separate items for every possible scenario. Now, on to fabrics. You've likely heard the saying, cotton kills, and it's true. Cotton absorbs moisture and takes a long time to dry, which can lead to hypothermia in cold weather. That's why you should opt for lightweight, synthetic fabrics that wick moisture away from your skin and dry quickly. Consider materials like polyester, nylon, or merino wool for your base and middle layers. These fabrics are breathable, quick-drying, and retain their insulating properties even when wet. For your outer layer, look for waterproof yet breathable options, such as Gore-Tex. Remember, the goal is to pack smart, not heavy. Every item in your bug-out bag should serve a purpose and add value without adding unnecessary weight. Remember, pack smart, not heavy when it comes to clothing. Food and water are crucial for survival, but how should you manage them in your bug-out bag? Let's talk about it. When it comes to food, the key is to pack lightweight, no-cook, high-calorie options. Think energy bars, jerky, dried fruit, and nuts. These options are not only easy to carry, but also provide the essential energy you need to keep going. And remember, the goal is to survive, not to feast. So, you can leave the canned beans in the cooking pot at home. Now let's talk about water. It's more important than food. You can survive weeks without food, but only days without water. So, invest in a good quality compact water filter. Also carry purification tablets as a backup. This way, you can source water from the environment and make it safe to drink. Remember, when it comes to food and water, simplicity and shelf stability are key. Medical emergencies can happen at any time. Are you prepared? In a survival situation, the trifecta of pain, bleeding, and infection can be fatal if not addressed promptly. That's why it's crucial to have a well-thought-out first aid kit in your bug-out bag. But remember, it's not about packing your entire medicine cabinet. Your kit should be lean, focused, and fast to access. First, let's talk about pain. It's more than just discomfort. Pain can impair your ability to think clearly and make sound decisions. Over-the-counter pain relievers like ibuprofen or acetaminophen are lightweight, cost-effective, and can make a world of difference. Next, bleeding. A severe bleed can become life-threatening in minutes. An Israeli bandage, a tourniquet, and clotting gauze are compact, lightweight, and designed to control severe bleeding. These aren't your average band-aids, but in a survival situation, they could save your life. Finally, infection. In a world where clean water and sterile environments may not be available, infection is a serious risk. Antiseptic wipes, antibiotic ointment, and a basic selection of bandages can go a long way in preventing infection. Remember, your first aid kit isn't a catch-all solution. It's a tool to buy you time, to keep you going until you can get professional medical help. When it comes to medical supplies, prioritize items that can save lives. Shelter and sleep are critical for survival, but how can you keep your setup lightweight and effective? That's the question we're tackling today. When it comes to shelter, consider the pros and cons of tarps versus tents. Tarps are light, versatile, and quick to set up, but they offer limited protection. Tents, on the other hand, provide excellent shelter from the elements, but they can be heavy and time-consuming to pitch. Now, let's talk about sleep setups. Bivvies versus blankets is a classic debate. Bivvies are essentially sleeping bag covers that offer extra warmth and protection from the elements. They're lightweight and compact, making them a great choice for your bug-out bag. Blankets, particularly survival blankets, are even lighter and can be used in multiple ways, but they don't offer the same level of comfort or protection as a bivvy. Remember, your shelter and sleep setup should be lightweight, but also offer ample protection. Did you know that how you pack your bag can greatly affect your mobility and comfort? Yes, it may sound trivial, but weight distribution is a game changer when it comes to survival. A lopsided bag can trigger fatigue faster, strain your back, and even throw off your balance in challenging terrains. So let's talk about center of gravity. Aim to pack the heaviest items close to your back and around the middle of the bag. This helps to keep the weight centered and reduces strain. Now, let's discuss shoulder load. Your shoulders are not designed to bear heavy loads for extended periods. Distribute the weight evenly between your hips and shoulders by adjusting your bag's straps correctly. Lastly, quick access items. These are things you might need urgently or frequently. Think flashlight, map, water, first aid kit. Pack these items in the outer pockets of your bag for easy access. A well-packed bag is not just about what's in it, but also how it's packed. So you've packed your bug-out bag, but how do you know if it's really ready for a survival scenario? The answer is simple. Field test it. Take your bag out into the wilderness and put it through its paces. Walk with it. Sleep with it. Use the items inside. This isn't just about testing the gear, it's about testing you. Can you carry the weight? Can you find what you need quickly? Do you know how to use everything? You'll likely find that some items aren't as useful as you thought, and others are more important than you realized. This is your chance to make those discoveries and refinements before you're in a real survival situation. It's also a great way to get comfortable with your gear and to practice your survival skills. Remember, the real test of your bug-out bag is not in your home but out in the field.